ETIDI weaved into the city. This project's goal is to envision future-oriented manufacturing and build a green and sustainable environment in the facilities that drive the growth of the city in the manufacturing campus. Amongst the 5 different sites, Site C is located on the Akaki River in the southern part of Addis Ababa, and the site is home to the state-initiated Ethiopian Textile Industry Development Institute, ETIDI. It seeks to establish a new production model in the garment sector. The question is how future-oriented manufacturing facilities could be implemented on the socially, economically, and sustainable side. When it comes to urban growth in Addis Ababa, the city has rapidly expanded since the 1970s and has been through rapid changes in urban structure. Additionally, the population and density growth illustrate an influx of people into the urban area. With its growing phenomenon, the city has been building infrastructure to connect newly developed area and plan to extend the existing facilities. However, ETIDI has not fully connected to the central infrastructure yet. To scale down to the site area, ETIDI is in the middle of the industry zone surrounded by residential areas. However, the area has yet to have a specific infrastructure connecting residents to the site. Since people rely on public transportation to access the site, the new bus stop and stations should be introduced based on the extension plan of the light rail which conveys the people. The goal of ETIDI is to enable the Ethiopian textile industry to be competitive in the global market through investment support, production capacity building, and market support. The textile industry is considered the priority sector by the government's industrial development strategy. The institute provides programs for training, benchmark implementation, laboratory testing and inspection, research and development and marketing training, which show the ambition of the Ethiopian state in the garment industry to become a prime mover globally. Thus, the ETIDI desires to grow and expand its program toward the city and plan for the future extensions. By allowing its extension for growth, the question arises, how can the city and the building grow and expand to prepare the future industry? The main idea established the theme of a growing city, that a building as a city and a city as a building. The building continues to expand by linking other cities' facilities and embracing the people and their lifestyles as living organisms. Then, how can a city react to this force of growth? And how does architecture respond to this program? Given the current context of building and the surrounding, the ETIDI is an institution encompassed by factories and warehouses. And the fact is that the building itself is not corresponding with the surrounding environment. It stands in the middle of the city with monumental features. The roads are full of heavy trucks which are not pedestrian friendly. The managed vegetation grows arbitrarily around the site, and the river is heavily contaminated by wastewater from the factories. The envelope of the building describes its modernistic monument. The site context shows that the building has no relation to the surrounding context, and heavy trucks are passing by with pollution. Thus, the design aims to handle factories and warehouses with the institution, elevate the building's appearance, and manage the site's natural environment. In terms of the historical architecture typology, the buildings have outdoor corridors surrounding their facilities. It is on the ground floor, and elevator levels connected all the building or rooms. This feature, marked in red, is also in line with the concept of connecting city as a living organism. Therefore, the critical concept of the design is that the path connects every facility and improves the current condition of the city with an elevated track that has cohabitation at both levels. The structure secured enough height for the trucks passing by. People can walk through the trees, which creates an eco-friendly outdoor space, and this plantation is supported by the state's campaign called Green Legacy. It pursues planting trees and will help build green space in the area. The conceptual image shows the atmospheric passage in the trees. Regarding the project's planning, the guideline of grids is created based on the orientations of the existing buildings. This grid forms a new linkage system that connects buildings and embraces the facilities. The path connects programs, and there are many points for the accessibility to this pathway. In between pathways and existing structures, new buildings and programs can be invented giving a new ground for development and programs that can intervene in the site. Due to an expansion of the program, some parts of existing structure will be removed, although most of the removal is walls, the boundary line between properties and temporary structures. The original calculation system and some trees are replaced. Some of the existing programs will transform in response to new developments and expansion of the ETIDI. Most of them are factories or warehouses. They will convert into future-oriented programs such as robotics lab or R&D centers. The master plan shows program zoning with manufacturer, high-tech facilities, and commercials with the institute as a center and housing and community zone on the northern part of the campus. The facing illustrates the development process over time, showing how the industrial site turns into a green campus. To allow the design to the site, I propose 5 methods of renovation: insertion, juxtaposition, wrapping, weaving, and removing. These design strategies were applied to the site to form an expansion of ETIDI, and these recreation of space give different vibes to the area according to the programs. I will walk through the spaces, illustrating how new programs transform the industrial site. The elevated path gives peaceful moments with lighting and shade, and it allows the feeling of walking between trees. It also connects different programs on the site. The unmanaged courtyard turns into a serene yard with a new institute extension where people enjoy on the ground and above the ground. Library provides a front and courtyard where people gather as a community. The transparent facade blurring boundaries of in and out gives the atmosphere of reading in the trees. Again, the outdoor space represents cohabitation between 2 levels, existing conditions and new structures. The factory from Site B Bolonemi that reflects the idea of vacating the factories will be implemented and creates a market strip where people continue to have everyday street life that they used to have. And a particular portion of the factory turns into a utility facility as a supporting program that generates factories on the site. Workers and students can find peace in the cafe. Housing provides a cozy place for those who work or study at the ETIDI site and help build communities. The dormitory type is suitable for singles, and families have a larger type of housing since the average household size is 4.6. Newly developed ETIDI creates sustainable environments where daily life experiences are at both levels, and the balance of old and new indicates architectural cohabitation. This is a vision of the new ETIDI proposing the building weave into the city as a manner of growth. Thank you.